Hey y'all, this is India Sade, the mom of many from the Coleman crew, and I just wanted to come on and give y'all this video that I've been holding on to. How y'all been doing? I know it's been a minute. I know I've been promising y'all that I was going to jump back on, and I'm really about to just get straight into it. So y'all, I'm in the kitchen today doing some ribs. And I've seen a lot of people just get that fat off the ribs, like it's with no, I don't know how I was doing it, but it's like they do it with ease. But maybe that particular meat slab was clean to where it really didn't have a lot of fat on it. But I've seen like people just strip all that little fat off like with one access of just pulling. So y'all, that's what I was trying to do, but I do know how to cut the fat off. Most times people like to keep the fat on. However, I was just trying to do what I thought was best for my family with making sure they don't, bite into all that fatty meat. So y'all, I thought one slab of ribs would do it for my family, and I don't know why. I thought one would be okay for a family of 11. However, I did had to eventually pull out the next slab of ribs. So that's what you see me just cutting down the ribs. One by one and getting all the excess fat off so that way I can rinse, season, and put them in the oven for at least about 30 to 45 minutes at 350 degrees. So yes, you guys, it's been a minute, and I just wanted to let y'all know that I do apologize that we went MIA for a while. But we coming back. I'm not gonna say we coming like never before, like we never left, because we gotta sit down. We have to reintroduce ourselves and we have to build that community back up, y'all. So I hope y'all sticking with me for a long time and not a little time. So I do want to go over while I'm just, rumbling by the mouth, that since all the kids are asleep, I said, let me go ahead and do this voiceover. So the seasonings that I use, I will be sharing a piece of that, but I'm using, of course, our Tasty Touch seasoning, which is the regular taste. I use garlic and herb, like some Italian dressing, which is also some Italian dressing, but the garlic and herb was like a marinade season, dressing. I use some mustard, and I think that's about it when it came down to the seasonings. When I'm using our Tasty Touch, it's nothing really that you have to add with that. Let's talk about the barbecue sauce, because I did give a glimpse to that. Is there any of y'all that cook y'all barbecue sauce over the stove for a little bit? What I mean by that, do you just slap the barbecue sauce on before your meat is finished so that way it can cook, or you kind of cook it over the stove a little bit? I grew up where my mama done put the barbecue sauce over the stove, and they was particular about a particular brand, which was Kraft. Like, I've tried other brands and it just don't taste right. I get like a lemon, squeeze the lemon juice. Yes, I add sugar, and that's to your taste of liking. Maybe you don't need the sugar, but I feel like it gives that barbecue sauce, just like when we do our spaghetti, lasagna, anything like that. It takes away that tangy taste. Not me feel like, well, let me just add a little water or something. Like, that's what gives it that unique taste, which is good. And a lot of people won't realize that that's what you put in there until you tell them. That's just like a lot of other foods. But yes, we also do like the frozen or the fresh bell peppers and onions to just like marinate within that barbecue sauce and let it cook for just about 3 to 5 minutes over the stove, which is shimmering. Once that is finished, then of course, when that meat is almost finished, you top that on with your with your meat, the barbecue sauce. That is all the excess fat that I did cut off. And of course, I said I needed to do another slab of ribs, and I'm pretty much repeating the same steps, which breaking down the ribs so that way I can go ahead and throw them in the oven. Whenever I throw them in the oven, I don't add water to the pot, the pan, while they're cooking, because it will eventually add its own juices, later once it start cooking down. I didn't use that whole slab, so I was like, you know what? Let me just, put that to the side. That is the seasoning, our tasty touch. I forgot to say, I used some olive oil to grease down the pan so that the meat wouldn't stick. I then topped it with the frozen bell peppers and onions at the bottom of the pan. And once I did all of that, and my seasonings do have the dried herbs like the bell peppers, as well as the green onions and the dry minced onions. However, I did just want to give it that frozen taste as well. So this is me seasoning the meat with our Tasty Touch seasoning, which is the regular taste. And I'm just eyeballing it, y'all. I'm flipping it over from front to back. That's how we season our meat, not just on one side. Then there is the mustard. I'm about to shake up a little of that and just top it on. That's what's going to lather the seasonings. That is the Italian dressing. Yes, ma'am. And then there is the garlic and herbs, like marinade sauce or dressing, whatever you want to call it. I use a little of that as well. Once that is all said and done, this is the aftermath before I work that seasoning in with my hands. Yes, ma'am. And I just wanted to give y'all a little glimpse if y'all needed to take a picture of the seasonings. You won't find Tasty Touch seasoning in the stores as of now, y'all. That is something we do from the house. I have sold it. It was on my website, but we just use our own seasonings for now. No one, unless you say, hey, Indy, I want to do an order. So, yeah, this is me working all that in. It feels nasty, but, baby, it's going to taste real good. Make sure your hands is clean before you do all of this. So, this is the aftermath of the seasonings. Take a look at all them herbs. The seasoning is just right. It's balanced. It's not too salty. It's not too bland. It's not spicy and none of that. That is a seasoning for all meats. Guess what? I also put it in my potato salad. Y'all, the secret to my potato salad that my grandma taught me how to do is make sure your potatoes are not overcooked. Make sure you have just enough of eggs, maybe about 2 to 3 eggs more. Make sure your items on the side, like everything that has to go in it, is room temperature, so that way it doesn't just turn your potato salad cold instantly. Like, I like that hot potato salad, y'all. So what you're about to see me doing is seasoning, of course, again with our Tasty Touch seasoning. I feel like potato salad needs dressing as well. Well, seasons as well. But let's talk about that dressing as well. The secret key, and I'm sure my grandma gonna say, girl, I'm telling it, yes, Italian dressing. You have to have some Italian dressing to take that taste to a whole nother level, especially when it's like warm. It's like pecan candy to me, like it's about to melt in your mouth, but it's potato salad. So also just a sprinkle of sugar. Yes, I said it. We ain't getting diabetes over here, but it gotta be the right balance to where it's like a sweet but spicy, not really spicy, but just, you see, I'm using an extra spicy, just a tad bit. It's gonna balance out, y'all. Don't knock it until you try it. It's like a sweet but fire, but not really on fire taste. Like, it's real good. And I also, of course, use that regular too, relish, mayo, and of course, you use some mustard. And I'm just working all that in. When I tell y'all, it was so good. Like, you got the right fluff of potatoes when you don't overcook them. Do y'all peel y'all potatoes before y'all boil them, or y'all just rinse them off and drop them? The lazy side of me used to just rinse them off and drop the potatoes in there, but now I done start back peeling them. So I'm just tasting as I go to see if I need anything else. And as you can see, I needed to add a little more Italian dressing. This is something my grandma showed me, y'all, and A lot of people like, how you know how to cook like my mom potato salad? Like, what is you doing? And I tell them what you missing. And then I guess you just have to have that right hand to still know the right ingredients and not have to measure everything, to just go with the flow. So yeah, when I say use an extra 2 eggs, one of the reasons is I like to chop up one of the eggs on top, as well as adding a little more seasoning. That is not too much seasoning. It's not a salty potato salad, baby. It's just right. It's gonna go with your macaroni, your greens, your cornbread, your meat, and everything else. This is me talking about how I'm cooking the barbecue sauce over the stove before I layer it with the ribs. And as you guys can see, I'm just really just drizzling that barbecue sauce. Oh my gosh. I'm about to get up and cook some now with some baked beans. Oh Lord Jesus. And I really don't eat ribs no more after my 2 emergency surgeries I had a few years ago with eating fatty meat. So that's why you guys seen me trying to take away as much as fat as I could. But yeah, I'm just making sure all the meat is covered with the barbecue sauce. And then once that is complete, I will add it back to put the pan back in the oven without it being covered for at least about 10 to 15 minutes. Just depends on, you know, the flow of me eyeballing to make sure that the barbecue did stick to the meat before I drop it and put it in containers so we can eat. So yeah, you guys, this is me cooking for my family of 11, which is the Coleman crew. I will have to get everyone back on so we can just reintroduce ourselves. And this is Amara looking like he's ready to eat right now. And they were surprised I was in the kitchen cooking. I was surprised, and I love that I'm able to get back in the kitchen, being that I'm no longer working from home. I'm working for God and working for my family and just, balancing out the house. So yeah, the kids were excited to see me in the kitchen flipping and tossing the meat so that way we can get some good cooking. Some good eating. So yeah, this is just me. Before I put it in the oven, I was just still making sure everything was lathered well so we don't have no dried out barbecue ribs. Most times my husband will cook this over the grill, but this day he was actually coming home from work and I just felt like let me do my big one. Let me get in the kitchen so he won't have a hard time trying to come home, figure out what we're going to eat, cook, and all of that. Y'all, that barbecue sauce is busting. Don't knock it until you try it. I say, don't knock adding just a tad bit of sugar into your barbecue sauce and cooking it over the stove until you try it. Then come back, leave a comment down below and say, India, you was right. It was good. You was right. You was most definitely right. I'm not looking back. That Kraft's honey barbecue sauce and a little sugar, lemon juice, your seasonings, your bell peppers and onions and all of that good stuff. Yes, ma'am. Yes, sir. So yeah, I was just, this is the aftermath of me taking it out. And you can see it's all shiny and glistening that it's been in the oven. But y'all, stay tuned for more. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe. Turn the notification bell on, you guys, too, because I'm coming like I've never left. But I do have to sit down with y'all and explain to y'all, like, this is a different breed. It's been some changes, some good changes, and just reintroducing y'all to the family, the Coleman Crew family. So stay tuned for more. Make sure y'all like this video as well. Talk to y'all later.